So we found a really exciting early spring, late winter mushroom just down here. You can see it growing on this log, and down here and all the way up there, and I'm more than certain that if I walk through this woodland here, I'm going to come across absolutely masses of this stuff. It's a wood eater. It's called Scarlet Elf Cups. You can see it's got this incredibly vibrant red colour to it, and actually if I was walking past, I would probably think that this mushroom would be non-edible because it's bright red. So it's a cup mushroom. You can see it's cupped like this. It grows on decaying wood, but sometimes it looks like it's growing on the floor because the moss will cover the wood and this stuff will grow out through the moss. But if you have a little delve down, you'll see that it is growing on decaying wood. The cup itself, red on the inside and white on the outside. And what this one's doing right now is really quite interesting. If I pop my finger near it or change the wind around it, it's sporulating, so it's shooting its white spores out of the cap. And then the whole thing's connected by a very minute stem here to the wood. When we're picking Scarlet Elf Cups for eating, one of the pieces of really good advice is that if the cap is too small for you to get the end of your thumb in, then it's worth leaving it to grow a little bit larger. So we've got some tiny ones down here that I'm not going to be picking today. I'm going to let them get a bit bigger. But all I do is literally take my thumb, pop it into the mushroom. If my thumb fits in it, I'll pick that one. And popping my thumb in also allows it to not break apart too much when I'm picking it. Now, like I say, you probably think this isn't edible, but it is a great edible. It doesn't have masses of flavour itself, but it's all about the texture for this one. I think the texture's somewhere like scallops, in that kind of realm, quite a firm texture. So I dice this up and cook it. I'll cook it with loads of stuff. I put it into rice. It gives flecks of red through the rice, but also a really nice texture. I can slice it all across the base here and use it as almost like a mushroom scallop, which is quite nice. The exciting thing by this is that it keeps its red colour on cooking and keeps its firm texture as well. Then one of the really nice ways of eating this one straight out of the woodland is making Scarlet Elf Cup canapes. So if we're out in the woods and we've found something like three-cornered leek or wild garlic or wild chives, something in the allium family, we'll pop a little bit in there. We'll pop a little bit of garlic mustard. Usually I'd take a little hand blender and I'd blend up some mayonnaise with some garlic mustard, pop that in there, and then my allium on top, and it would just literally be a little crunch straight off there. They're like little pre-made canapes. One of the stories I've heard with Scarlet Elf Cups as well is that it's something that the elves like to drink out of. So you'd put a little shot of sloe gin, sloe vodka, damson vodka, sweet Sicily something, anything, a wild liqueur in there, and it's a little pick-me-up during your walk around the woods. There's nothing I think you can confuse this with. It's a cupped mushroom, scarlet red in the centre. There's another mushroom that's called a ruby cap or ruby cup mushroom, which is almost indistinguishable from this, but you don't need to panic, they're both edible. As far as I'm aware, you have to go under a microscope, and it's the way the hairs come off the base of the mushroom that's the key distinguishing feature between them, but they're both edible. As foragers, from a food point of view, we're not really looking for microscope kind of stuff. So we just eat both of them and call them both Scarlet Elf Cups. When you find one, you'll find absolutely masses, so you can see it all growing up here. And like I say, it produces a white spore print. It's something that's definitely worth getting your eye in, because when you're wandering through the woods, these bright red specks seem to stand out quite a lot. And once you've seen one, which is usually one you'll see around the fringe of the walking path, you'll then look further into the woods and you'll see masses and masses. It looks like they go off in lines because they're following the wood that's under the floor. So that's Scarlet Elf Cups, a fantastic, vibrant, bright red, edible spring mushroom.